The passing of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu in 632 CE marked a turning point in Islamic history, as the Muslim community faced a crucial question: who would lead the Ummah after him? The Prophet was not only a spiritual guide, but also a political and social leader who unified the Arabian Peninsula under Islam. His death left a leadership vacuum, sparking differing views on succession. Some companions believed leadership should be chosen through consultation, shura, while others argued it should remain within the Prophet's family, particularly with his cousin and son-in-law, Ali ibn Abi Talib, Ra'. The majority of the Sahaba supported Abu Bakr, R.A., one of the Prophet's closest companions, as the first caliph. However, the differing perspectives on succession laid the foundation for the historical divide between Sunni and Shia Islam. This division, which began as a political and leadership dispute, gradually developed into theological and cultural differences that shaped the course of Islamic history. This paper explores the early leadership struggles, the rise of the Rashidun and Umayyad caliphates, the first fitna, and the tragic events of Karbala, examining their lasting impact on the Muslim world and the modern implications of the Sunni Shia divide. Ultimately, despite these historical differences, the essence of Islam calls for unity, brotherhood, and adherence to the teachings of the Prophet. Sallallahu. Introduction. The Prophet's legacy and the succession question. The Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu was not only a spiritual guide, but also a political and social leader who united the Muslim Ummah. After his passing in 62 CE, the Muslim community faced a critical question: who should lead the Ummah? The companions of the Prophet, Sahaba, were deeply devoted to him and sought to preserve the unity of the Ummah. While some companions believed leadership should be decided through consultation, shura, while others believed it should remain within the Prophet's family. The majority supported Abu Bakr, R.A., the Prophet's close companion and father-in-law, as the first caliph. A smaller group believed Ali ibn Abi Talib, Ra', the Prophet's cousin and son-in-law, was the rightful successor, citing events like Ghadir Khum as evidence of his designation. The first four caliphs, the Rashidun Caliphate. The first four caliphs, Abu Bakr, Umar ibn al-Khattab, Uthman ibn Affan, and Ali ibn Abi Talib, are known as the Rashidun Caliphs. Abu Bakr, Ra' worked to stabilize the Ummah and preserve the Quran. Umar, As-Sahoy, expanded the Islamic State and established systems of governance. Uthman, R.A., compiled the Quran into a single book but faced opposition, leading to his assassination in 656 CE. Ali, R.A., became the fourth caliph, but his leadership was challenged by Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan, the governor of Syria. The first fitna, civil war and division. The conflict between Ali, R.A. and Muawiyah led to the first fitna, civil war. The Battle of Siffin in 627 CE was a key moment where Ali's forces clashed with Muawiyah's army. To avoid further bloodshed, Ali agreed to arbitration, but this decision caused some of his supporters to abandon him, forming the Khawarij. Ali, R.A., was assassinated in 661 CE, and Muawiyah established the Umayyad Caliphate, shifting the center of power to Damascus. The tragedy of Karbala, a defining moment. After Ali's death, his son Hassan, R.A., made peace with Muawiyah, but tensions resurfaced after Muawiyah's death. Muawiyah's son, Yazid, became caliph, and Ali's younger son, Hussein, R.A., refused to pledge allegiance. In 680 CE, Hussein and his small group of followers were surrounded by Yazid's forces in Karbala. Despite being vastly outnumbered, Hussein, R.A., refused to surrender, upholding the principles of justice and truth. Hussein and his companions were martyred on the 10th of Muharram, known as Ashura. The tragedy of Karbala is deeply mourned by Shia Muslims and symbolizes resistance against oppression. The development of Sunni and Shia identities. Over time, the differences between Sunni and Shia Muslims became more defined. Sunni Muslims believe leadership should be based on the consensus of the community. Shura follow the teachings of the Prophet, Sallallahu and his companions. Sahaba have four major schools of jurisprudence: Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi, and Hanbali. Shia Muslims believe leadership should remain within the Prophet's family, starting with Ali, R.A., and his descendants. The Ahlul Bayt follow the teachings of the Imams, whom they consider divinely guided, have their own school of jurisprudence, such as Jafari. Historical and cultural impact. The Sunni Shia divide influenced the political and cultural landscape of the Muslim world. The Abbasid revolution in 7th overthrew the Umayyads but did not fully resolve the divide. Different regions aligned with either Sunni or Shia Islam, leading to distinct traditions, rituals, and practices. Despite differences, both groups share core Islamic beliefs: the oneness of Allah, Tawheed, the prophethood of Muhammad, and the importance of the Quran. Modern times, challenges and the call for unity. Today, the Sunni-Shia divide continues to influence politics and society, especially in regions like the Middle East. However, it's important to remember that both groups are part of the larger Muslim Ummah. The Prophet Muhammad emphasized unity and brotherhood among Muslims. In the Quran, Allah says, "Hold firmly to the rope of Allah and do not be divided." Quran 3, Madu 3. As Muslims, we should focus on our shared beliefs and work together to address the challenges facing the Ummah, a message of unity and hope. The division between Sunni and Shia Muslims began as a leadership dispute, but grew into theological and cultural differences. Understanding this history with humility and respect is essential for fostering unity. Let us remember the words of the Prophet, Sallallahu Alaihi. The believers, in their mutual kindness, compassion, and sympathy, are like one body. Sahih Bukhari. May Allah guide us to unity, strengthen our bonds of brotherhood, and help us overcome division. Together, as one Ummah, we can inspire millions and fulfill the legacy of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu. The division between Sunni and Shia Islam originated as a political disagreement over leadership, but evolved into distinct theological and cultural traditions. Throughout history, this divide has influenced Islamic governance, scholarship, and regional identities. While differences persist, it is crucial to recognize that both Sunni and Shia Muslims share fundamental Islamic beliefs: the oneness of Allah, Tawheed, the prophethood of Muhammad Sallallahu, and the authority of the Quran and Sunnah. The Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu emphasized the importance of unity and brotherhood among Muslims, reminding us that the believers, in their mutual kindness, compassion, and sympathy, are like one body. Sahih Bukhari. In a world where external challenges and divisions threaten the Ummah, it is essential to focus on common ground rather than historical conflicts. As Allah commands in the Quran, hold firmly to the rope of Allah and do not be divided. Quran 3:1-3. By fostering dialogue, mutual respect, and understanding, Muslims can work towards a future where unity prevails over division. The legacy of the Prophet Sallallahu is one of compassion, justice, and brotherhood. Values that should guide the Muslim world in overcoming sectarian differences and strengthening the bonds of the Ummah.